chamber peacefully into our offices, await Mr. Speaker's arrival, and if he calls leadership and we do pre-sitting discussions, we'll take it up from there. But for now, that lawless theater will not share with them, because Ghana, our country Ghana, is bigger than any one individual. So we would want to, at this point, sing our party's anthem to let you know who we are. Colleagues, we are the new patriotic party. We are the new patriotic party. The elephant is a winning symbol. We have walked to save Ghana. The elephant is a winning symbol. We shall walk to save Ghana.
The best station in the capital, Meet FM.
Area was your former Munina, how Yamamoka. Ede ba me mind so high and neat fam. Ye chago at the free ship house at Bekan Junction. Or share live on so our Facebook and YouTube. I was here for betting middle message, you know, alpha 0503721744. 0503721744. The backing can come at the amount. Production crew I crowd Jordan Miad Macjero Saj, my friend Ma Bankron and I suffer. One a year move Michidom Eofidiamo. A year and Konya say ya dia sede can be a makonu Ghana limited. Wadaro mano mudi omo enro was so a note attache. One with the airtie chi. Them say you don't fit jump. I was here, we did you idea which ya me din at the MAAME BIAMAH AKWAFO. Make I was send a Benada October Bosumida to sweat you know me, you know. I just a kind of 4 best and watch and I say Corona the October Bosumeno Aquana year. Now wouldn't me say a Brabona Wobono. Send you won't know Hofano, Ejina, and a Montuobi, ya utu ye emri bi atwam. Me say abrabona wo famuno, ne who say see no. ejina anamontuo bi a ene ejinasie bi a wusi ye emri bi atwam eno na ama wuhunu na ewuhunu enti sabrabon no ebi ana achia ama wo na pesa wo sesa enema mu a ene anamo a wutu agina wusie no si gina foforo a wo behunu senkyere ne foforo wo ho anamo bi a wo betu niema bi ebekoso wo abrabom no gitum say ye wo anamontu anasa wo choice bi a wo make ye some time ago ene de adrum pempensu a wadru no. It is a koye ma praise the Lord. Ebiana choices I will make yen a very good and positive choices. Sebu anso na brabo na ye nko besi anu ahunu se anamo bi ni gina bi a wusi ye na ankoye papa amfa ma ho. Enti na che se utu anamo bi ya ko animu a na wanya adwene mu foforo ye. Na no ne do beko. Enhwe anasentena se emma enkrofo nsam wo mo beka no omo opinions no eno na eba be shape your life wo eneketo bi wo mu a wutu anamo bi na ya na mo papa sa ne kasa kire wo say ya de fonso na wo ya sa ne kro no a kasa kire nti ya tie sa ne no why den be mu ahunu se ne wo ye no e ya adapting e na wo ye anasa e ya chiwacho de momu no emma kwan emma nkrofo emfa wo opinions emma be shape won kasa no wo destiny enti ma wani na ho ati ase na efa etu anamon a edi yedie eni mpuntuo beba wabrabom mutu anamon edi yedie eni mpuntuo ebebo wabrabom no enye se bia emfaso no bekwa ama wonko a na emom no afofre ben won soso no won benya sa na monto no mfaso why etu ya ade bia ya de a ususu se sa ade a meye enye bia ehun sunsanso no ebeboa won e ben me won e ben me benya eso mfaso ana sa dwene na se wutimi enya isa sa abrabo ene ne wabo a omafo enya oso mfaso eno na do fo awie me de ehia wo na me de ajo tata ere aba me mainti so ewie nkonyasie na me fa so de aseda eni kabea ama me wofa no obapo ne de wo a ena ama maye kunkon ya me disi hayi na wofa odi kan eye me ankasa me wofa pemu honorable Buachi Ejiakon former energy minister in the Republic of Ghana wofa babia wo bia ewie wofa semechia wo nchia wo pa enyo anonko a me wofa ba kubo hono mo acha so ono die ebia me ka wofa premai wo boa lie by wontimi ntake no wotake a wonam bebu Nabus Motus Obrempon nana edubonsu ejekum prempe be ana matu ni di ona wonim na beka bi asama to wo masa wonim se wonia no yie bia wo ho a emeka ona oya wo se Nabus that's all ona na menko ani asanhye ma me se menwisu ona no what you say ona isi ensanhye ma wo na akoka ona ye beju predwan ena me wofa bako eye nana Jomo Brobe of Capital View Hotel Kofodia nana bebia obi awie me ma good afternoon me wofa soja bako FW1 Alex Yeboa Oya chief security ewo Okakwe North Municipal Assembly Israel baby I will be a me good afternoon and obi bia wutie me echi amunyina da mo asesamo do mafidie na ato 800.9 Risabre ego se no 9 bebo ye ne mo ne wa ha online boy be sorry nkonwa so na ola Michael na pamfo so ba bagie adwa na wagigi entata ede akofie it is award wafidie na to ha no mo praise the Lord ye do asepa na nsem bebre e na ye ba bedi ho nkomo onyina mani tu asem aba ba en ho kontonkro ye be se o my Ghana ko mu from Parliament of Ghana from Ghana's Parliament the three arms of government the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Yakeka nneɛma bom sɛ yaa. Nanso awie me gidi ye sɛ speaker or agene sitting no. Gidi ye pa sɛ ama binom akomato mo yam ebi so asɛ wo mu gina ntɛntɛnoa. Now, apart from said speaker, agenda sitting, now we expect to be before for any of speaker one. Again, now we expect a free speaker ho. Also, say power play be a cost between the legislature and the judiciary. No, ana. They say speaker was suspended sitting now or suspended ye bill. What next? Speaker has suspended sitting a bill. Yanko tie said the speaker is suspended sitting no na yen fanfi e honomo.
Honorable members, as you may recall, on Thursday, I informed the House, pursuant to Standing Order 18 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, on the occurrence of vacancies in the House in relation to 4 honorable members. Yesterday, I received a process from the Supreme Court, which is a ruling from the Supreme Court pursuant to an ex parte application directing Parliament to recognize and allow the 4 affected members of Parliament to duly represent their constituents and conduct full scope of duties of their offices as members of Parliament pending the final determination of a suit filed by Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markin by Article 102 of the Constitution, 1992, and Order 64.1 of the Standing Orders of Parliament. I note that we currently have a quorum to transact business, but not to take decisions. I want to read the said Article 102 of the Constitution. It reads, a quorum of Parliament, apart from the person presiding, shall be 1/3 of all the members of Parliament. As presently constituted, the numbers definitely is far above 1/3 of the members of Parliament. But by Article 104, the numbers are not sufficient for us to take decisions. And I'll quote Article 104. Article 104.1 says, except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, matters in Parliament shall be determined by the votes of the majority of members present and voting, with at least half of all the members of Parliament present. Honorable members, we don't have at least half of all the members of Parliament present. Consequently, in view of the current circumstances, the fact that there is a question on the composition and constitution of Parliament, and having regard to the public interest and the exigencies of the state of affairs in Parliament, I will proceed to, in accordance with Standing Orders 59, adjourn the House indefinitely. That is sine die. I want to quote Standing Orders 59.1. It says, the Speaker may, in consultation with leadership, suspend a meeting of the House indefinitely or for a period determined by the Speaker, having regard to the public interest and the exigencies of the state of affairs in the country. Honorable members, I have consulted leadership and I am exercising my discretion to decide to suspend the meeting of the House indefinitely. The House is accordingly adjourned sine die.
Area was young for way a right honorable Speaker of Parliament and ote nenkano wa ajene sete na yekwa ahomaso na yene yenua Emmanuel Akoli despite media ye reporter watonkra efrim rashe bedwafie okoho ache wurumfie aduo no wa kasa ye adwuma mrashe bedwafie sa ante akasa ono so bewura chamber ono akwakoje ne seat na chese bibia akran ne awie Honorable Akoli awie ye mo ahaba memaiti so
yenua
Speaker Jane sitting awie edi ebiem atmosphere no etesen ewo mrashe bedwafie ho
well atmosphere no Speaker Jane no na eye NDC masudiafo na one majority side of no one kwa na won ti o Jane no na we ni age omo boje be so ye pie yen so ye ne wo mu bebre kasa ye omo say Speaker petition on adjournment indefinitely no eye papa we ni je ho wo nyina no dudo na ye no won kasa ye no eti asefe asem na wo court Speaker krampo ye reference to it say eye composition of parliament no e ho asem e wo Supreme Court so eyi na titwe say omo ama directive bi inti Speaker say based on Nema ECC no there is a question about composition of parliament no or no where the sitting open say or the sign after won view the atmosphere there now it was that of joy Emma Masuja for no more demo no NDC Masuja for no so say good sana na or more to be samia sana me aka woman na the do na International Conference Center hono mo na nsen ho na omo tena no do na emu pi ho no mo omo ababa omo office e wo job 600 na nka ye hwe ni se eye entity masuja for no ne yen ebe kasa enso no information na menya enese ende de wo mo ne yen central for enye press conference bia e bi e chire no ena ye bete wo mo nka but enya de mo ne ye press conference as entity masuja for to be samia amane wo ha no eno no
yo Honorable Akoli mi bisa se Speaker ajeni wieye na wode waso eto fom no na say no mrashe bedwafo no wo a wo dwuma bidie na se wo kọ na wo kokodi until say Speaker ebesen ato nsa e de afre wo mo ana na betimi abasa onfre wo mo atose e beto aba wie
ebetumi abasa but manasa yen sure say be banasa
oh okay
it's an said that or the be free wo mo no de e show no nsem but me yen sure say indefinite adjournment no ebe twaswa kopim December 7 because it was Yankai said first quarter budget was 2025 aban wa betina kuya so no e was a parliament yi epa year budget no in the first 3 months of 2025 na abanya o wa betina kuya so no eno no odi be ye na djuma kopim so be yi ni minister na odi wodi abre speaker dia to parliament nim appointment committee ayen hihye na ya to nsa press something for no kakra be won parliament wa be tenase actual appointment committee report na so mu gitu mu a na see the president obeba na was swear in first quarter budget is very important na no nanka omo ba ye enya adjournment ya ba anka omo be ye hu adwuma ansa na won asan akọ ahomidie mu a eno de omo kwa ye be to aba December 7th ansa na omo aba be ye 1 week or a little more than 1 week but enya ade be ye tintin yet to many we are. Days kakra be one more sign back. No more than day 1 week. The latest smart new. Now I'm more quiet. I know the almost baby no. November 6 January 2025 for dissolution. But Uncle Bannister, in Tenomation, they are very sure. They say no adjournment, indefinite adjournment, a very handy. So say Supreme Court at the decision about substantive matter no ebeba. Speaker and Chiremu study about indefinite suspension. Nansaka Supreme Court notification no. Me from Magni they are sure say or they change a Supreme Court final determination of case na one in him FA MP 4 no say who contest as independent from a political party who independent from independent who join a political party. Assemble at that Supreme Court as a 97 no they are sure say speaker air train or be train man Supreme Court no the Juma na or the ruling number. And I mean to be worried. You send an American TV, and you know, one to say Supreme Court, every year say you man and them. Na speaking so every after one. Now, the almost I was almost by normal first quarter budget. And I answer next year, they had you.
Yebe ko ye chika krana me be frusu he na menya na ntie speaker and so or instructing the lawyers so omon konko file for stay of a Supreme Court order no sanse mi etwa wasum no krebe ne wom.
Yes, etwa masum ansa na speaker beba betena dem ho and then no mo abom paye na odi ne num sem bitudwa no yete say why instructing the lawyers and ya work no aha na officially ne de wa moso ewo dem ho ewo ne formal communication ni mo ba me nso make it sound and it is something na you know you to based on current exigencies for country ni mo no it was our between be at the anaya say and at the Assembly Supreme Court and say enko further creative further abia mean to me you see the word confusion a problem no
okay
and in consultation with leadership
okay
NPP and NDC MP or say in consultation with the wa consult to
okay
inti omuna ya we ansana obe agene indefinitely.
Okay. Yensan yechi enko anopa no ye nyanentie se ma former majority omo ant na chamber ho. Say na sitting arrangement ni sitie e wo ho.
Sitting arrangement no say ye bina ebe kaya you katena se anensa ni fanso na ye majority benkum ye minority. Anopa na ye ba ye no 8 a.m. Masha for no Emma Kwan ye be entrance na Masuja for no way no. Ebo 8 no na NPP Masuja for and NDC Masuja for so abonting. Woman na Esa Laima is screening on Momu no. NDC Masuja for Kotena majority side and NPP Masuja for Kotena Honomo. No more to Honomo almost no airborne common. Na enye tense atmosphere to say honomo aye sisi entokwa there bi na ewomu na honorable Alexander Afenyo marking ono so eba ya oda eye masuja for na no oba ye na ne dom edinechi like eye masuja for na ewo NPP afani dinechi e na omwura chamber ho owura ho no ko majority honomo be bia no otai na okọ na ya tena masuja for ni bi te ho eye NDC Masuja Pony Biti ho. Nti wan transekra ena odane ne ho ne dom di ne tisa na omo ba yen sentwefo ho na omo ne ye de kasa ya. Ono na ugina wane ne ye kasa na osu MPP ye party e transumpi na dia abe we see the minority we see the majority we see the we majority. Aha omo mpese eyi NDC Masuja kwa kotena baby a kane no omo tedo. Almost be couple na koye se apre omum piti sa no sa theater no eya bia ombe mana koye sa nti womo no Supreme Court asemo ho ena Supreme Court direct speaker say the ruling no on so Inti no omo hwe nim say speaker the tenasia obey the was so ye now or I receive speaker mu say or experienced speaker or your lawyer onimumrano inti ombu neni embu Supreme Court directive so or I receive say speaker say the right thing and now we and omina ko so omo ko tena omo offices e wo job 600 na speaker ba no money ruling ni wi there be a speaker ruling no or ma ruling ni wi and on be hu dia omo be ye akoba ne say speaker agene sitting indefinitely no inti ubisa me efa eno so na omo ko no na ndc masreja for no so to bomb them away nte mo kwa amonko na owie no mo to omo ndc enyom wom revolution nyom no so ba ko
party anthem no sa ebi march father mo home kitagana flag be grey him na ubehwe ho no mo na eseweni it is a see ade just obi akọ ehọ ehwe
obi akọ ehọ ayehwe obi akọ almost almost come conscience immediately almost akoto our campaign so
okay
now so brase be ni ba kwa ene ne kasa ene say committees ahudu oni bi wo enyuma omo be inti enye tema ho pe na wo eduma wo inti wo say speaker agent indefinitely ba committees ahudu no ebi wo outstanding work of the eduma wo so mo dey ho report omo ba no mo dey aba
okay
the committees ni bi betumi akoye wo eduma but do also na no omo constraints so omo committees no for one dey omo beba
na say we dey adum omo say first campaign season it go omo ko yiro omo ayo omo campaign
omo si ni omo we time kwa omo ko
Araba Kwale yo area ye bedo ase
yo madam ase
yo bye bye
okay bye
I was here for your century ni Emmanuel Akoli ena otise yene no abonkomo kakra efri mrahye bedwafie wani tuane a ewiei anasa no pa ewiei akoso ewo ho ene empempenso adura isi ade finally Speaker of Parliament wa jene sitting no hey it is here baba ni mwanimu ya anasa wo mo mma ni mwanimu ya no ebre ene bekire utie ni 100.9 na me 19 waso egoi na wo odofo a wo susu wutie me no nia ekoso ewo mrahye bedwafie wo wadwene ye osan ye mama politics bia ha politics bia emechia go straight to the point also wadwen ekire wo san nia ekoso ewo parliament 0302243540. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
BIAMAH Johnny Money.
Johnny Mo Boko there.
Now I know going.
Young go yet you.
And then I know your final.
In Jamela, why? There be.
Nana do a bebre papa. On the 8th Parliamentary way, wabre papa. Now said the Yanko Pastor Nina Chino. Go go see him to Juma at the Boa My Ghana. Now where they went in the last year, I'm saying from a year December, the airport they bring at the end. Not to kick in our parliament and network. Now any papa from the Saba. The party and Caribbean Cana, my mom won't. And to us, one of Kakra party and ever having. And the Yakopon Yadana says, you bet this over parliament way. Napo for us, baby. And the other, I am pretty for Romana Boko. Tell you, baby, you know, your power and your betting, your Yaja power. No, you please say, Parliament, you better day. Oh, by Umia time. Bye bye.
Medasipi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mama.
Yamia drum, Fifini.
Mama, who is in the prison, Marina?
Young quiet, it's you.
Mama, oh, I find my thing to put in back. Penny. Oh, I said anything. Or someone who was near a speaker. One cannibal for. That's the first mark of one will go out with it.
Him Guasi and India. Now, suspended city and I just send him Guasiabim.
Oh, that's what
more.
I remember. I told him I said to him, but you pay you. Look what you want, or be by us on a woba. Peter, or by us on a woba lawyer. What will clear that for? And I didn't hear supper for the social listening. Oh, you because I can lawyer some more. Listen, me, who says the enemy said they go. The whole gallon of the city. Lawyer can the more casting in the last. Oh, then more can they? You can also listen. Oh, then what time? I said, look, you're young, because I said, one, I jump up a friend to do. But this was so friendly. We must say, we are collapsed. I don't know what you are. We are collapsed. We didn't know what I now I think that something is fair. Oh, we are with you. What is the problem with you? Since I can't get trash over. The man of Baba, who will promise to be removed with the budget, who is with the somewhere, since I might be in that. So, wait to say independent, wait to send this to bear 20 to the bar. Wait to say Bamba with Banya Sana, after my test over. It's a beginner to Basi. Why? Who be at Tobasi? Oh, I took one, who not about to pass. Why? Strong. I took one out small.
May I say? Good afternoon. Oh, neighbor Sue. A pimbeban and pimpim dear chili.
I don't want you to go. By any canny, and for you to that's in the two demonstrations of our parents, and I didn't go to Mudonia. And at the P, at the guy, at the Pumo, about the mind, if you have something, including a 2000 international airport. Then you have a two check a crap. Without one canal, one doesn't understand what you where they want.
Kafra. Me matrinkwa. Kafra, me say Kafra, me matrinkwa. So ba no mu yi why?
Matthew, my son, we hear the
Yanko.
Kakra me can say, oh, there be a mechanic of mine when you're near trying. Dear Cosmo, I said, in Calabria. But also, I've been called so we are one of them. Wait, just a minor, we are Mr. Minor. Muslim Bafaka, only until 1 month into as the song, and Timmy, or Jessica, and Timma, and Timon Penny, and Jenny, job. And she education can afford just the Copiano, as he walked. We can become a Samponian man. Put them on. Now, and fire and hearing, inquire a day. We need one to see about the pedal, put it in and you never
May I say, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
If I told you, baby, free.
Pacho Japanese, make a separate my oil family.
You, Jaffa is you.
I'm my money, you my father with the more mine. Where the mamma for a queen, since you am a youth command.
Pacho, high and Chiam, Pacho, Jaffa,
Mr. Where the edify parliament, someone. Oh, say, oh, your interview, even your serial colors for a platform, no so. Or be all or man or what Timano, or Casao Timuse, or join the party, or Jane or Mano. Betty Macasso or Hinneball, Cosiboate, Efo. Pay, I use Supreme Court Assembly Parliament issue. My follow Mutimuse, or more MPP, but who show more comments if you are no man. Who did you say? Maybe did you say, or more can be the Bianya Jobro. Then as I said, supported the maybe Jeremy NDC. May bomb person Yameboa NDC Beba power. But I know interest, if one answer, when you book with watching AMA IU, although many Mushia platform is why but particular this issue, when you book with watching Yabba Yami Bonnie, Mr. Lutu or power or my drink. Yeah, no near for way. Oh, the orphan koi.
Ajanimo.
Pesasum way no. Serious me who or mother, my who say, or my nini, or more being, or man who at the comment to be bar. ebia na megidi say yes supporters for no although you person a party bra but no krebi or why what here dey eji achire ba nyame bo a John Mahama obeba be kuta o man need 24 hours economy but banti abato da ni duru a woji people na wo dey hwe etini no na fatim wo bokọ wo di tim wo a na why then wa ba fia ba beti na wo dey oba so TV na fato UTV wo fan to UTV a wo dey
it has CP it has good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
About your dinner, baby, Africa. Oh, okay, be in Pome.
MAAME Boko. MAAME, I'm sorry, can normally maintain what I person may comment that be free a baby, you know, MAAME more incentive for more boy for this, more moka, and I've been battling, so I say, President, BR13, and no here, so the MAAME. Okay, Professor Mark Okui, 2 years, Papa, so I am money, you know, once in America. Now, no one but out, Abe can say, me no party now or didn't part of buy. Woman a troll letter buy, Abe catch them and say, woman in the partner track. I know the mammy, so I mentioned the year. Now, Miss Now, Kingsford, Bagman, Nedian, wine was what troll letter bread.
And no, me and Cassandra, me inquiries from a former majority side. No, I want to say, almost emphasize let be a enco inform me speaker. Pass our 4 seats, no.
That's right. Not as a president, no difference room, and I'm a what?
Okay.
Men are media smith by, and I'm a say, men not to catch them, na me de crata, woman, me de chance here, brew. A be an anchor and say, then speaker, no. One word in 2 minutes on what the in the deal said you are not dear. Yeah, what's up? Name as some said, Nipono, will be a bit than a midina so ye. Any part of our benkum was off any powers will be I. It's me heavy. Nagging in a year so near Gusso. That's Sabi. Sabi, I need a material what interview, ne, Mark Jerry. Now I'm a ferry, and I got a constitution, no, my casa constitution, you know, as of now, yes, the son. Dear, what on the idea, and if I can watch some interview, I can watch some dear now to make a catch Supreme Court. And now, one moment, and so be a Kutano. I then will be a catcher, will be the same. Ferry, penny more baby, what if you're doing your what now, what to meet tonight interview for this. Now, see Supreme Court. I've been by your number 3 into a ban, and the Supreme Court to a bar. And Radiana and woman, no. A dream may be an area who said, be beneath young woman. Na ferry say a drew set baby near the idea no baby a dano young will be a young from so a young from so a ya what to me and your home she name my dear near a young rasem and the eka me I can't say the city na say wonder a young man na me de fa baby say and I will no ye stay in a president Marco Quay bina Marco Quay dear or ye no and you been the one day difference won to me Ghana for mommy and custom said ye sit here me I am a bufu me heading you now mammy baby I'm the cofra and me yasanka ya my yura doche and your bony dinner and go back for speaker can you say I'm a one so that yet that's a Ghana obenya baby
say that's CP. Good afternoon. Machodini baby everything.
Good afternoon, Pacho. Polo man from Lulua.
Yo, Polo man, it's you.
Yo, Mammy, the woman is there. I look back up. One say, more letter and come speak and poor. And the speaker no on TV. And I letter commission when you move. Say, Mammy Morrison, Omudu, a year call. Letter commission say, it's only independent. If you know Ghana for BIA will speak of BIA where say we say what declare so we independent candidate. What you say the speaker ni all you on demand a year mu nyina Ghana for nyina ni. On akoma do man kan akoma akosi so man kan no kre. The cost maybe the omu anya ade. Na Yakopon so majority in parliament ni de NDC for deal. And am fa ko ti kwan bi so agia for mo nti Yakopon de on die. Nyami 2024 election no majority they have already take it already. Bye bye.
Me da say pe. Edion. Good afternoon. Yes. Ayo, sorry baby bia boko de.
Mompai bo me ho ye papa.
Da Yesu ase, yenko.
Ma. Me ha wo dan. Enna aka me 2 years. Enna maka kire wo se obaba ku bubu manitie. Ntimi time so a me ntena dan nim bio. Wo mra bi se ogina so tumi firi sa da me ka asem na be ma me time aso. Na mekwa amako. Yesunya de.
Wabu afana to aso yenko.
Na manyina nua ba oba soja. Edi kan. Emre mu no mini right say me tenant say ne time so a. Ontena me fie bio ntimi di me hu abufuo etu ni wabra me time nso ye. Me ma ne time na so na wakọ. Enti se obi ye MP na osi bibi nti watwe hu afiri amanyokuo ni mu a eye nipakuo bi wo baabi na to aba ma no na wantwe ne hu amfiri mu wabra okowura parliament a akabosumi mienu ye koto aba osi December ba ye koto mi nyina ma MPP bio e wo se MPP fo na nkasebe professor makoko time no MPP fo mpanifo na eyi professor to say abrantie we ABCD na prof soro pride MP ni say asema wo party fo abeka kire mi ni na abrantie ni say ai na we die bagben asemu ma wate na wo di so ye ni a na ni bibi NDC fo akoye meeting say omo pese free education omo ye nsakraye Friday be sebe yom de sogbon ba be bo MPP enti na omo force akoye leaders
na say omo sorry citizens when dey na omo continue kwa sa changes
yes thank MPP for amfa bufo say ma betna ye seat so ye peja ye mu a ase edun katia enko omo committee
me da say
education no
me da say yeah Guya Ghana. Good afternoon. Mahao.
Mejuso mami BIAMAH mami so ba ko be.
You didn't be afrefi.
Unya be ma mo ni fita.
Yo fita papa yenkoi.
Unya be ma no yari o maka dem be.
Oh, kafra irade nsa o yare wo Yesu dem amen.
Amen. Yo mi no me kan say. Yes to parliament no. Me bi wan na bro ma bi ni mi aso say. Parliamentary yes to ba ma mo say. Mun ko sia na mu aben. Na ne ekoso wo. Ta koledi ti wo kana so hwu ya. E dia pin de ba kwala nti. Oh, si aba me to me afie. MPs na ye say. After me nipa ne say on ko party we di mu bi. Emra ka so ye kakra bi. After me so e wo court. Supreme Court. Ika me say roba bi konti ano. No mo fo de 2 years and 2 years. Na ese NDC fo no fum say Umbabe majority because no say ofuti wini because me this America krawe ba ke mo awo me da say o me da ba o nya o de we
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, BIAMAH soldier.
Oh, Alaji 1.
BIAMAH police.
Alaji bibi aboko de.
Ye da nyame ate na madam ponu wo no na
o she ho otamachi ha ya.
Kancha me se wo pon ho mayan sia wai.
Me bajo yo wate.
Po se mo bebre na adwumafa. BIAMAH onim o man ye kosu no de se yemfa mpai bon chekile because se tia binumu ye o mo agin se etimenu kwan bia so on be fa so agitimenu. Se o person bu o man a ala se o person di nipa so a agita ho bratie ala se nipa no ne pinto na wo be nya sa akunya o na se wo si by force se wo di be bu o man dia ya se na nya o man ti na wo ba o ya se na dia wo taye no ono ana ebia wo dwinche wo ba wo be ta continue enya sa dia ko su dia nti ade na asemba ya na edi ko Supreme Court aden na omuntimi nya abutre enkema Supreme Court fa ni ruling bansa ana omu ye sadie we enti se wo pese obebu o ma wo pese ruling obi na wo stati ye kakabia sem we a wo ga se hwan na beba betu abama o enti million misre Ghana for say konfo we wo mu nya konfo bia ye beta di Ghana se omu sam bi mu because omu die omu nye omu pese ombe didi wo mu ye mu keke
no mo say o man no na different the play the case we are am for enjoy until one on person dey so don't try until misletter obia panagin for from na ya via the Supreme Court beka the Supreme Court ka onu ne final na ya nyina disu na bibi akọ kama woni nyam ya agima
me da say onsora den kan ho why Alhaji good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
MAAME BIAMAH for design.
Yes, so adomodi ni baabi afrefi.
Boachi no me frefra class central.
Yo, aja boachi wadan ma ite o.
Yeah, memo parliamentarians na memo omu nyina abaso. Na memo speaker o waya de pa wa ma asumdie abagana ha. Sisi e wo hwe de na eboboba na manfo fu say speaker ba be take a decision bi ama koka aba. Ba otimi the speaker wa dwene Ghana for ho. Na ode saa decisions we aba. Ode ba ye on say ba bia yedi. But ade wo mu ni say MPP for omonti omu wase no montra minority no. Na omu ankasa no minority no e fata omu be say 8 years ni. Ai ni. Na nyame adom omatimi akra nyame akra kroma mu matatra ho majority say aka be say 1 month na say NDC for aba be majority free omu nsemu a. Eni kwa so omu ye dede bia because adwuma bone eni omu emunumuna eni omu sisi ena de omu bedru samri. Mintimi ni wo nya adwuma mintimi ni wo yese ye do omu samri. Ejo omu mfansia de na omu hu say enipa ena omu ye party na ya na sebi enya mwa ena at the same time nye obi a onim de oye na te say e de mo ba ba mu a na mo di mutumi efum ne ma fa na magya omu breye no magya omu gu no eduru saa say ena baba ba to mo na me de nyame na me bo ne mpaye say ene speaker of parliament wa ya de amamani agipa che say e baba to abai basa bia manasa basa emma na o hwe de speaker ye di a na Ghana for pass with ye di a oda balo ko dite ma to nto aboma na so di emra me da so
Menso me da sipi. Hey. Afrafranto for no. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
MAAME soja.
Nana mo akọ.
Alhaji Gado wife.
Yeah, go it you.
Yemu about na djuma sumo wadi ama on my Ghana and despite media. Obabesi a wi akete woni emema edi ehim political talk shows ne de obomo de papa nyame nsha do yo kese. MAAME soja. The air cost our parliament here edi huye eba Ghana ha de de Ghana fa parliament asem na eweti nyina ehwe on my Ghana parliament no. Eye nipa bi o parliament na omunwen on my Ghana ho political party and no dream. Ni sent ni say you were abambabin. Kasa Supreme Court akas on wakas into the any juma dia. Ayana me di any vo and we yaw. Nanu yedo at forcing case a cause Supreme Court buy ya almost at forcing a dimuno. Almost Supreme Court abaso. And near a some cause Supreme Court anqua maum. Almost this Supreme Court at them. A body saying and achimye no estan ahomaso yedi ba kwa no ega ba ko je be se and for omunyin oman asundwe no kane and see omo personal interest and omo selfish interest that's a muslim ye MP honorable na se mu tibi kaza an na parliament ne je be kontokwa ye be paper ye ho a na honorable na ofra ho stain and ye so sa honorable no ye fi ko shemra mu she emani yi a Supreme Court and na ye kire emra ni mu Nagana for Asia, yeah. So the Supreme Court, no. And I'm one parliament speaker to know on King Charles who answer. I'm going to the MP, Muslim Tiasia, the Babia Cano, and I'm the Bayajuma. Nanano, as some Koma Modia, Musi Anodia, yes, over the Samazo. Na Anquama, Muslim Nim last one. No more lowlanders, moon Nim lasso. No Nim as a million good in last one, by Mr. And the MP Nim lasso. Na yesu ni mra no omani ankwa no manga na eye me nyina anya omo for almost self and on person interest anyone nim kan say o manga na so ye ni ewo mu no me sega na ko say yento ba me about me no mo to amambo papa no so ono pedo wetu ga na ye jamo ga na she any sponsor ye beto ye ma asa ye zakoya no na yira island ye wa me hwi o ga na mamu mu ono ka na ga na ahoho ade na adwadifo adwuma abos
me da se ko ano bi so abeka bi. Good afternoon.
Mami Soja.
Pacho dini be bia free Russia weni.
Mami Soja miao.
And then they atom mama me. You be able to there. Kafra yanko.
Majari wo.
Ota mechi wa ha say.
Tell you say me tiadu na every day bia Mitanechi our red one na mitienu.
Mo why there tanechi. Authentic ba ko pe.
Me believe no pa ni nu anu kwabla mafu.
Ai oro so authentic kwabna.
Wow, Mami Soja.
Yes.
Tami of anu de chairperson who the rule ba say majority ebeko minority no. Mini madam pobi di komana me catch am say aka 2 months per ye be vote. O say ye papa no tu ni wase. Un say akwada bisa ofelu say tofia unum say de udada no kaka do time na the tofia no ama no. Un say asema mi ka madam for no sa na akoye no say fia no aka 1 month per be vote. Na ye to be koye by election. Ye de ni nya be fra aye no ba ko. So anka dede we emba. But I quite say NDC 40% almost jubilating now say almost ba into minority. Say akosi say akosi shi after obisu kan say ofradu de Ghana say vote no be vote no ba no be fa onwa esi kwafwa che de sika no sa ni be si bye bye.
Hey, Rajawa. Medase why? Good afternoon.
Mami BIAMAH AKWAFO.
Yes, I will go see what yanko.
What game papa. I mean yo kesiye. The pacha wo say papa bi e be boy abaso, eni aje ni abaso. Ba to me boy.
Asa.
Bo so rata tin chira papa. Ba bo say ye de ni die ma de ni die sano. And the radio station, the cattle singing, President Mahama, me and the Propose my quarter camera. Every day, I have a bush and come for who to sports, and the name of radio, so like a Tentiano. Make me dim a lamp, the mention of a cano. The Pacho, I made BIAMAH AKWAFO, I made the Obu Amma, Speaker of Parliament, and yet now, I mean, NDC 4 Dogana 4 Sada. Marching past the cross war, Parliament war. Yet it is only as the Odobini and Giakita Ghana flag and a papa, and on Twaba. The Batwa Ghana ha. Yenim President Man will be there because you know, and you've been to Colania Mew. Now make us a mammy and so Yanni is a mew. And you know, I did a tribunal, but taking the decision that the piano bit must summit. If it's about mere police, not the panel. I don't know my Ghana. And the best friend, a Ghana phone, to the stadium. About the papa at the judgment. You need Murano to papa. I go on, mid and come and on Fred Beam on Franco of the Bachapa. But I did, okay, I tell you, Parliament and Alcohol majority. Come here, what else swabba, Nefania, a dumb door here. And go to Parliament and Kita Franca and human cultural majority. And the end will be a
Radon Council, where that's it. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, mommy. Apple man.
Pacho Dean, ni baby after film.
Manuel, the Sophia Pam.
Yo, Manuel, yanko.
Indeed, so don't miss Maka McKenna. What can you do, wise, you know, and or say, man, no. From Mukasa Munko, you know, not to me, I said, punishment was almost punishment or more the or could do, but that's all, parliamentary house.
Aye.
As I said, I said, also, more punishment one now, almost
there be no dear, ni so a punishment because ya to obey in conform, Becco see Empesiano, constituency on Baco see on my name. And now, once I obekasa unko be eminent, say, free parliament. Name mono, obe serve or term no aquawie, and sana,
And yes, I'm not bad no 2025.
Impejonyo.
And then I just almost them memory was me almost started a son, but because the band is 2025.
But you know, our constitution no name almost standing orders no one can't na speaker or acted them.
Only you sabi no I see no ha in term na no or bonopo we ya there to be and she can about 2025 no mo wage ma yes we give you more or budget fee or budget be there. It is some money age man not 2025 no na almost no nya fine we nya no for baby we nya there number baby or how say my say yes we are you see as it say morning
yo I'm so me das pi oh ewieze ama me fanta ba. Good afternoon
Mami Soja.
But you when you
Mami Soja.
Yes.
Mami Soja.
Yes.
As a man time for this year.
Yes, I said make a fancy.
You kafante. Amaranso. No fancy.
Ayo, non the young gangum. Young got
you. We lokure alpha.
Hey, nobody there. Only as say.
Media that fufu.
I know where you are.
Oh, me I'm a today. Me flow kra. Me say.
Oh, friend McJerry.
Bisa Mageri. Onu Mageri bisa no. Say,
Mageri is on kai.
Wakwase maami no tutu ni kotoku. Enti no jese, odidi o mami bi mi. Eno na ya na ya.
Mageri is on kai so we invite him so wa yira wo tutu beti. And I was on na wonkwa na abedro na wonkwa na wudi.
Say me simi bi na.
And why you na be hye? Why you na be hye?
You put a men no. Eno ji a.
Ayo, you know why? You know why? Enja, you be sanyem. Yanko.
Obapa, na me na wasi na memo wabaso na onyankopon hira me yere nso. Oba o my Ghana me ka Africa so ba bi anti mi tutu no. Container no hope na mgina. Yoda ori agbagben asi. Eni sebe ni nim dia onyankopon adwini nyansa eni efie nim dia a onyankopon de do no. Ema ni timi tina e taking decision na ena me ne ka se bia so bi aba. Na me bi say afanyo manke e dey kura no opraje e go my Ghana e dey no opraje obaba onka hu say na kunya no wate so no eni di for the brain aba betina sa kunya no so George awon nyina betina so pay you who the way am see you who the way am present you e parliament afanyo gba ya ti won to ne buati you know that you out to no pray onto the book. Send me one year, son, 1 year no futu, or have no 1 year. Send me more pro parliament. The same thing will pro futu. And they, you say, you also took the Oka Post, yeah, the Majan Eva, and you so you're in now. Who you want to go flat in char, or I mean, if you know about settle the Yarana. If you ever say, I'm not to watch it. Now you I'm 5 years to you. No budget, I was said by November, no. I'm 24 years young, no budget in them. 2025, John the money, my about what you have the boy, man. Then I call you so I be the castle for you. Would you also?
Meda sipi nokre asa. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, BIAMAH.
Hey, Alan Cash. Now, what to say?
Kumasi Brown bi wasi ya da nyame da ban na so e
ya me adom yes ye ho ye
da nyame ase
it's you
anyway no mi twenya mpa ne ma oni o producer aduma pa amobo
yo ye da se
na kakra meka ade afa onabo abansma ne ba ben asem ne de ho no mesre court emra no awo ho Supreme Court kasa ai ba bia nkasa na parliament kra mo na mo hwehwe emra no ana Supreme Court ade ya aduma. Enti sembrani bi atutia we akase 46 to 47 days to election emunwa enti mesre o mumma bibia abotre nkoda na se some party mienu we se yan two man free so ni anto abama align kwajo chamate butterfly movement alliance for change asiawa the bia o mbakọ so akọ wo kokura o mko wo ho emra parliament yes say ya kwaya 137 a emra ya kwoto abakọ yi speaker of parliament shantofa titiri DAC ye anu na Ghana for chief alam kwajo chamate butterfly movement o mo so abam because papa ni do oba o yan MPP ni o yan NDC ni o akoma power and power chiche papa ejiro man ni Ghana nkan ko ni Ghana mpunto wan wan o be ya adwuma o ma wo metna faako e ma wo meye ketasisa ni corruption bia na Ghana enkwatiri enu ti ni ya betre se ye ya nkaboma ban alon kwajo tramantin le betimi dia aba ama Ghana fa ni tuma pefra enti let's Ghana for MPP wini antokwa besi NDC fu wini antokwa besi enti let's Ghana for chief alon kwajo tramantin yantu abama no ya nyeme akoso menteme wasi akoso wo parliament house no yentimi nkam na Ghana fa ni tuma pefra na Ghana nya ti se Malaysia Ghana nya ti se Singapore me da se woni na menya djuma
yo hey mensume da se Alankash. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Bacho dini baby afifi.
Okay, finish. Africa.
Bacho say ma ne so kakra ma me.
Okay, finish me Africa.
Okay, Ismail Yanko.
Bacho, me person me buta question back.
And
say Emrano ka say obi ne party ansa na omaye den ansa na omotima yi na free parliament no nti esi ano mra no kansa no na mra ben na mra no pese ekire
like say a better key effect ana
yeah
and wangam say immediately
nti onko for no mo say esi ano omo eko independent omo atma submit omo ayiwo abatuo mu amesisi ayenim se omo ye independent candidate na esisi ano mo ka se omo ai party na nkire ayamba se ebia nipa no free omo party ni nti eno no mra ni ntimi enya adwuma omo na mra tamme na ai yebetimi ai sa mra na eda so ai parliament eda ai no so se tamme na yebetimi anya sa effect no ewo nipa na so
yeah, that's it. That's why. Good afternoon.
Mami Soja.
Yes.
I want you to buy a middle ashama zen.
Yo, Abai, young quay, it's you.
Mami Mbo Abaso, Namin Chiami of Jerry Soye. Mami Kwama, Mami Soja, who say MPP for no more yatin pa. Mami Soja, Sha Udia ko MPP Nankasa constitution mu. Nako se obi eko jina wa MPP ticket di mu. Na se etire oba no ka se omako promise no ma to abeti an no so oko independent a. Ko omu constitution mu nako se omu mla na omu ankasa omu asise no. Sen etire. Etire se sanipa no omu unifree party ni mami kwa mami buana mami Soja. Sana mu constitution ni tientine afede de na aba ene mu parliamentarians ni bia ko promise elusu a ene omu ko independent a eye speaker declare omu seat ni se eye vacant mu ankata mu buefu wo mu maye kanu kurante nipa da sani o wo media houses ni bi omu suro so omu beka kire MPP for say dia mu ye na nye mo kasa mo set president atuo afedi ade na kwago nkrafo tunyum bi se ko oya wo jata bi ole ke da no ban ene jata ba na nyi ana o hanti mu a hwede mu ye election na ye ko na nya grodio Mami Soja mo di atro wo position na mo ba beji tumi ana tumi nu hwe kwanya amna nado o president Kufu Ado afaso asai mu party asa sai o mani kanwa munya kukudro nkanche ni se papa bebi audi party na ba bedu ye be catch o play se what say party na say o man ana mu ye ni yodo ana mu hwe bebi e no di mu aba bedu
yeah that's There are sippy no adventure. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. Hey, Ungaza.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Umagada.
Bacho dini be afrefi.
Dini Joseph Kasafri Madina.
Joe, na maka hello sa Unkasa. Au.
No, I'm some credit in Yasa.
Yo, any young quay. What it tell?
My member Tony said, my own said, Nadia, my own said, but open you with fear, eh? Now, you saw open you, dear Mantimante, who quire a bounce man bagging what they are sound the fire, what moon said. Why, one whom I did. Now, who said the audience, I'm not 2 years on Pesse. Ebia we mba kwa kotuto anu mabi na dachi ko oko ye na asambi kwa basi samba ka se ebia na omba bu asame na onsta omo besa ye nim kofoi ombesa dia baba se ebia na omo abu asam dia ye we steady wodi ko no eye boko amaye pa ye nim se
Oh, credit na sampa ye kose. Last call away. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Bacho dini be afrefi.
BIAMAH.
Yay.
Now what is you?
Kristo nadum.
Mediani free from African Tamanto.
Yo, every fa yanko.
Yo BIAMAH moni adwuma pa ya bo mangana yakopon hirawo. BIAMAH. Asemwa abeto sesia no. Mi mum de mi di ya okakra. Mi di ya pa. Yemla se bedwafo no omgu onu no. Both NDC MPP no. Enya dia ye Ghana for na nkasa no mo hye da dwene ye ho. Emra eniema papa ho no se so mo ye ma oman no no. Ehu hia. NDC mo pre majority just 2 months pay. The 2 months plan mo be hye mra koka se mo pre makufu adu ni president ya na se e die mra na mo ba be hye e ma be ye oman mu ani nyina adepa enu ntia mo pre majority no. Media ka menko MPP for mu nyama wo mo. Say the o mekan say the be yi ni say the mo parliament wo no mo a wo mo na majority the abane de beba no e no mo mpene. Enti so mo duru bibi ba say abane sign. Abane so ansa ye no so be dai. Not say enti o make us onya do mo dwene o man ne wo no. Say mo dwene o man ne ho a ade ne de say mo yes aka 2 months. They me fa ni 2 months. Not say mo ye dwuma onya dwuma pa a mo benya majority ne say mo be wini Parliamentary no. And as MPP nso win ya. They say papa ya oye mo wuti ji progu no so. Kopem say MPP win ya de oye. Wo bakale sa na tie de on bese sa no. All say the assembly there. Eti me de omo ye no me ya kire ma dwe pa. Kire ma NDC enye we ene be mo win. Wo mo twa mo te. Ye wura mahama o ma. Eti the majority ma o mo kura na wura mahama ama. That is said what to go about so ata so. All say the assembly there. What I said the auto babo so to dem kwesi hwe eti media dem pesa me katre speaker of parliament dey say I just say okay who say you be and a man better ho nya ndisi to me and nya ndisi ne bo to man no MPP for be kan ho eti oye bibi asebi on kan who say if we be na kodi baabi eti oye bibi a onye no wuye they say so ade no say the ofani aboa ke jan ono am so lawyer na so e dey no see Ghana hanu no speaker na ye three no nim say speaker Supreme Court ebe abai ye bibi Supreme Court ebe timi de power to so it is abai ka to ye bibi ono speaker of parliament ebe timi de ni power SCC ye na
Edikamfu wasaberi mabu
Edikamfu mambapa Wedini mamaye Modesenya bobo Enida swenya kansa jidi swenya yo Edika fuego maye biamaye Yago mose Yago mose Yago mo Edika fumo mo Osabere mo Okopano mwege kumbo Mirikano mwege sumo Jiti nusume sie Mungu musenya kanguni Edika fuego Mayeda maye Yago mose
The best station
Yago mose
As you may recall, on Thursday, I informed the House, pursuant to Standing Order 18 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, on the occurrence of vacancies in the House in relation to 4 honorable members. Yesterday, I received a process from the Supreme Court, which is a ruling from the Supreme Court pursuant to an ex parte application directing Parliament to recognize and allow the 4 affected members of Parliament to duly represent their constituents and conduct full scope of duties of their offices as members of Parliament pending a final determination of a suit filed by Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markin by Article 102 of the Constitution, 1992, and Order 64.1 of the Standing Orders of Parliament. I note that we currently have a quorum to transact business, but not to take decisions. I want to read the said Article 102 of the Constitution. It reads, "A quorum of Parliament, apart from the person presiding, shall be 1/3 of all the members of Parliament. As presently constituted, the numbers definitely is far above 1/3 of the members of Parliament. But by Article 104, the numbers are not sufficient for us to take decisions. And I'll quote Article 104. Article 104.1 says, "Except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, matters in Parliament shall be determined by the votes of the majority of members present and voting, with at least half of all the members of Parliament present." Honorable members, we don't have at least half of all the members of Parliament present. Consequently, in view of the current circumstances, the fact that there is a question on the composition and constitution of Parliament, and having regard to the public interest and the exigencies of the state of affairs in Parliament, I will proceed to, in accordance with Standing Orders 59, adjourn the House indefinitely. That is sine die. I want to quote Standing Orders 59.1. It says, "The Speaker may, in consultation with leadership, suspend a meeting of the House indefinitely or for a period determined by the Speaker, having regard to the public interest and the exigencies of the state of affairs in the country." Honorable members, I have consulted leadership, and I am exercising my discretion to decide to suspend the meeting of the House indefinitely. The House is accordingly adjourned sine die.
Yeah, we see a 800.9 and I was so egua utiena ali me mo akwaba.
They just MAAME BIAMAH akume o nyamia dom.
Me so nyamia dom me ho ye pa me tiapo.
And that the man na age. I think this is a third platform. This is a third platform I made baso. Nenko fi kra ene. Oh, okay. And I foresaw say that be them say nkunim no de ebedi and am pass ye di and until they share white
when the nkunim one
oh na say I mean ye buta nyina ne say majority side honom no hona
mubakwa kwat
e ba kwatna
na speaker recognize mo say mo ye majority
or so one recognize and ko be pam ye free ho or recognize ye so now
before we can be what were you expecting from today's sitting?
First of all, medenchi akese bema tifo a etie Ghana fa na nyina ehwe so amachia NDC for almost almost adaje follow program yi NDC for mpenifo nyina bechia omo na ewie my expectation of this whole meeting today was that first of all, I think last Thursday, na mo UTV, I said it, I repeated it, say Speaker Krampo ba no watana asomeswa omo Supreme Court din Krampo asemi mo because Speaker na idim no or no nonsense man. So obey so Supreme Court instance. One say Kamia ko say Supreme Court mama Supreme Court no cry attention. Attention be a crank ho was sanko obo recognize omo I stay na omo ruling na omo to stay the speaker's rule. But also one can be a amfa ho. And no just say the Speaker of Parliament matured. Onim de oye. Obi oye lawyer ni or a very experienced lawyer wasumye ache. Was so I MP for so many years. See Supreme Court judges net na asem no so mo buye no. Just say Speaker ohemu a obekom no na just mo ho krampo ya nesre. So my expectation today is say first of all na dia Supreme Court no obeso so mo nsem no so. That was one. And then two, na me wo GDA pass yem position your rightful position to occupy the majority side of the house do no. Na me ye say the Speaker will affirm that. And na me expect ye nso say the MPP for no na me nim say do omo ba nkrofo from various constituencies say the be ya mba beta o machi na omo na enam ewiami su amomo e bi company cross nso kro manya bia nom aya se sankrofo ma MPP for supporters no e bi free nsawem e bi free kaswa yes I mean why should you do that also what nso kro manya bia nom nkrofo ma na me di omo ho ya omo na me dwena omo ho se sesi akoye sai how omo ba show mbegugu ho afedi se ebeka so meko na akoye bochi bidei obia efi omo because omo jalai ya ma omo tumi amoma be occupy the majority side na NDC for apart from say ye nimra no aidi mra so no ye sanso ye mema NPP for patapa na omudie say die ndie ye mpene mamom ye mpene ye nya die hey ometo ye say te majority side of Parliament no omo ye din ebo hu kase
o ya sure so mo bo hu na mo person come by dem omo na mo ba ko e dey sakasaka e ba
na sense mo mo
kika don't you think so omo no it shows the right way say the right to peace say omo se ma betena ho a mo ntena ho but omo de omo betena se don't you think that
if you interact with some of them omo ye honest omo ebechia tum senya partisan sem na kokochia na kokoambi na odene di nkoma obechia tum say the step taken by the Supreme Court not a needless because clearly a constitution no as stated said we have three arms of government. We have the executive arm of government, we have the legislative arm of government, and the judiciary. Obana kesi mompa executive nimpo ne dikan and sana about legislature. Now the chatwo crabo and the judiciary.
But ninyina were the same.
Yes, ninyina were the same. Oh, be the same be. Ohene kesia a executive. The the president of the Republic of Ghana. The executive headed by the president. And at the 2 minutes so the Speaker of Parliament, which is Alban Somani Babin. And at the Chief Justice Etoso Emiensa. That is the hierarchy in terms of the constitution among Amatumi. So this is the hierarchy. And see some of these members of Parliament on the ticket of the MPP, you know, Omonim say separation of powers, the constitution give every organ of state the right. You're going to be that in the history of our constitution, democracy. Sir Speaker, atimi adi ruling aba na the third arm of government, which is the judiciary. Ayo madrin say ruling and speaker di abano. Omo de to nchen, omo hold on. Ebi see that we back out da. Na menim baby a omo ko to constitution if say there's something like that happening. Yankro bebre a lawyer for. Oko NDC mo a lawyer for bebre ahodo bebre mo asua mra che akwa court ahodo constitution omo ni mo yi. Omo ni mo na speaker of parliament Alban Babi wonim court awako wonim say they was here asua mra. Na emra no kra ye the cost to Supreme Court honum no hwa mo na ye. Hwa mo na hihye mra enye the MPs grow now onye omo. I'm so owe article 97 na clear. Enya dia too ambiguous bia a can chaos one tia say is a interpretation. Na interpretation is hu hia. Na de na me me ngonga pa ne say Supreme Court edi ahohare so amode call ya within less than 24 hours no matter na asem no so edi ruling aba. That should send you a signal say they knew what they were doing. Minim say afenyo markings obi a asama ba afina speaker krampo betna so aka asem no na odi gidi also go Supreme Court abra speaker krampo no one funny ruling MI. So definitely you knew that na your case. You knew that your case so one can home and go Supreme Court and for wasam na nkoto omo a eja dia enga the minority will be in trouble. Na me de bia meka I think say it is time Supreme Court no omohwe no omoye nyoma esefata. Sabi, the fact that the Constitution of the Republic give the president the power to appoint you and just say baby efa ban ho bia no we say wotimi di ma no. Ye nyina enim unukrom has all the 5 members of the Supreme Court omotena asem eno so from Gertrude Tekono Ekopim the last person omotena omo nyina were appointed by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Eya rehosem enti eto de bi na President Mahama kasa Ghana for montie no odem de oka. Why president pen? Why caretaker president pen? Why vice president pen? Ena waswan so minister MP. Eba mamwon mukululu ni de akokoko a oye experts. So now odem de oka. Consistently no the Supreme Court of Ghana ema nkrofobi ejidia na omo ewo ye court system no so yate because a kamia koye say almost every time be assemble by if aban ho bia no gidi ho hare ye was so many laws e here was nka Supreme Court metena so make ka omo ho ho so up to date some other so e court ebini de we hen ebini e-levy a ye de court say you free one ya de court Supreme Court up to date as a emrabia krampo ne ho mo de court Supreme Court de to so mie no emema ne mema da ema ne mada gay and court up to date as a Supreme Court they are not even ready to listen to this one now way aba na mo de America with less than 24 hours makotana so na mo de ruling aba and no should send a strong signal to Ghanaians say the Supreme Court of Ghana question mark be ewa mo nioma ne mo money ye bi ho so ahunu mo ma ye say asam ebetu obi a the last resort is the court. And this Oma and Crawford ehunu say the court system no shifted to one political divide and as the omon kind of cry. One way and Crawford be sha se edimra asho monsa. Crawford be sha se edimra asho monsa. Ha kaye NDC for the see nyina yi ka betimi aka say I see entino I was said ne dia was the de my court so the court no be dey e be ya adwen ka albamba ben betimi aka say ne dia I was the de my court ntino o de I was say I mean omo ruling no ya ti ase but too much I don't think ene albamba be call Parliament House want me ambo want me anka anything about the court so because atwaswa I'm a NDC for ya can President Mahama unanimous FC wa can still a Supreme Court senya dia ometiye and so the see mania GA papa as is a speaker one more respect be akra am more Supreme Court like I say bibia NC see the air kan na say yet speaker and enim say ono ohihye mra o kan asema yetie you call Parliament House Chief Justice any to me bia wo ho the members of parliament etie no the speaker of parliament and a speaker of parliament so akasa say yen and as say ye majority because see out here ye 136 and a MPP for 135 and it is see no ye na to me eshayensa ye wo a speaker or ye NDC ni and as say so yakoya majority in parliament yes say ye de mra to say within these 2 months ye be Ghana ye de mra hodo a ebetimi aboa ma Ghana eden akoso emra beti sa e-levy asabi ekum yen emma Ghana for headache e-levy ni some other ye be yiri nyina fi ho within these 2 months akai ye be yiri nyina fi ho
esa mo ba ye na mo man from akura amfa so
that's anytime ye ni mre
because me ba o say mo be say samra na mbotu na mo bi a say mo ni executives na collaborating hand in hand you work together na say mra bi ho numbers na masesa na wo dey say mo na mo ba na mo be hye mo mra na mo yi mra bi
what eba bill executive etimede ne de eba prepare bill eba ma the legislature assign the same thing apply to the legislature yes yet almost to me bill e dey come executive president den assign enti yadi kan kadada emra hodo bi a se ense emfata that's wo ho se e-levy mra ya kan wansema enam so na ye the numbers no ya ntimi anya de anye free ho emra bi said betting tax edo krampo ko ya che ye betena so ye free ho ente animanimu ya ne ya sesam ranketing tax ahodo a te se ekum Ghana fo ama Ghana fo aho kira mo wo mo yi de o medi krampo mo de ye be yi ni nyina mo bia ho ha no krom a Ghana fo bete de enti ekun aye kun enye NDC fo kun na ye kun ye kun ema the ordinary Ghanaian citizen abai ya na dwen se ye to no fo a ontie because our majority our parliament ena nyankopon adom omo members of parliament they say frakadam na omo ye nkrofo no omo members of parliament omo ye mo bi primary see omo chitu omo nte omo ne because of say I mean oya wonti no omo ye madwen se omo ko independent nyankopon on pe bone ena se si asem ya entesa abetu omo afa de ebe kire omo se de ye hihye mra papa e wo parliament ye be sori gira ho ama pepe yo akoso e wo krum ha. So what I'm saying in summary is say and these NPP for members of parliament omo pe kra parliament no omo nkope bebi na ye de ye mfa omo ho se omo ye madwe se omo ma parliament a enye asem ye nim de ye beye
me ntwa no ali me saka on confirm report bi se siase Honorable Cynthia Mamele Morrison were rescinding a decision of going independent. Minim that is man make us unconfirmed report me saka se siase Honorable Cynthia Mamele Morrison were rescinding the decision what three assign so call independent no what three assign for now.
Yes, and people for the omo believe in too much of fake news. They young kase no kre. Bia na omo no ma kwhye kukuo mbi no ma news omo ko asade no de omo taye enso omo ye. But let's even assume say no kre. Ekobasa NDC for was say 136 and NPP for so 136. It doesn't still give them the majority. But many they say no kre. I don't even believe that it's something a bit me no kre. And I think say no kre say obi ani nkunim emwache say pa say ano you say emwache na so ye member of parliament so kasa no so ti ase say ono so enkwa they say akosi hwa and so omo de fa ha ye de be fa ha omo de ra ha ye de be ra ha omo yifri ha ye de be hye ho ye mo space ma omo nya de omo peso omo ye because we aban ye a akofo adu aban yi eya aban a na Ghana fo ewo gidie ewo mo papa me kai say 2016 election Ghana fo dodo ono atensem ne because akofo adu peso be president of Ghana na ne from 2012 and why 2008 mum 2008 and why prayer so be say oye president and nyankopon ye na dom na 2016 election otimbe we ni na Ghana fo wo gidie be say papa ya wa pra so person be president of the Republic of Ghana Said you what can some just say no suo baby any no sooner kume preku demonstration now didn't want the gym ne said na nyoma se kwani said the nyoma se kwani dem say Ghana no dey share sa oh Ghana for nyina atuadi everyone was convinced obia na ye expect no a obetime Ghana ye the savior Nana Adedankwa Akufo-Addo they nyina na very convinced beyond reasonable doubt. Me na me ndisini but I drew that no I drew sometime not I was thinking say the way Akufo-Addo say keka nsem no akwa say papa no vision I was convinced say the to me mana just say one pay year Ghana betimi obey Ghana ye kama eno nanchen oba no de Dr. Bawumia ebae before say odi Dr. Bawumia mpo ebeba no Dr. Bawumia. We never knew anywhere say you will be or Dr. Bawumia because no a deputy governor Bank of Ghana what now or technocrat near the day. The name no pa maybe say a castle manages Zimbabwe for economy. Uncle consultant because now Zimbabwe under the late former president what is his name Mugabe. He say economy say to the extent say not to say enkoyi any asoma Dr. Bawumia say uncle Zimbabwe enkoyi consultant emwa entime enso economy no say as ya say onkoye ni yi na Dr. Bawumia enkoyi ni yi na fe economy na kora say akobutu to the extent say per pound no kweke atokra na I was say usisa sika Zimbabwe okoye consultant I mean to correct consultant to the government of Zimbabwe. Say omo economy na say asai abutu no nkoye ni ye. No or consultant. Say omo share ma otutu ni oma. To the extent say ope pan wa e was so sisa sika be hwi baba ro be man be miensa go dey lie. Asa na wanya contain pan wa to. Say of course say economy to the extent say ahochira na ewo ho na nya sekwetua. Eno na Ghana for dey edinim no. But name say was so that proudest to manage economy. But Akufo-Addo mayeti say Dr. Bawumia no obano. Just projecting is set to say we are some economy nyina. You be free wa enye. The only person in the MPP no MPP nimpo. The only person in Ghana obetimi at so economy nemo. Obetimi aye ni ye. Ama Ghana be krabehwe. His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Hey, Nantini ye who say Akufo-Addo ye good. What is Obia why human rights lawyer? Obia why say what demonstration? What can say now? Yes, I say economic guru abekano ho. Atadwe matidende. Ghana for nyina ne je. And finally 2016. Omoye madwen say omode to me den momo. And somebody and Crawfobia no omanka okurum ha. Almost taxes are no too much. And the adrum was a move from taxation to production. Ghana for able say welcome this good news because I mean say tax in the district mine this time you be factories a whole one district one factories one district one factory one village one village one dam. At the Nyoma Mabuna Jumaya, why not? They are some there. And I'm gonna for you now. I can't say you what can I say more your best support too. Uncle say why? Or say every constituency be a Ghana Hebia no but making sure say $1 million per constituency. Hey, na akwaye atadwe. Kan nsem na ba me fa na bi ko suma hinkro na bi ko sampa na bi ko brekum na bi ko sawam na we kan mansem extra Ghana for at the end of the day no all these promises no akoye bochi bidin President Akufo-Addo aban ni Dr. Bawumia aban e ka me akoye say is the worst in the history books of this country what say you hunu be that only achievement free SHS. And your mechanics here, free SHS. Now they be a mechanic free SHS. Me person be sanka pobium. Now free SHS Jama time and uncle for chair fees. Sika obe here. I mean you can compare. Almost set economy to the extent say free SHS no. Obe so bako school sika obe here no. And yes some ketwa. And so this particular government is so disappointing to the extent say sika ena mo wie nkrofo sika taxpayers money na obi ewa ban mo na so ko dibone na wase president akofo de twe na so a na wakọ clear agent how do they nya sa din no ti ama na points nyina ayo madwen say krono ena mebo oman Ghana to the extent say a whole minister abai efa no sa onye sanitation minister bola obi ohwe bola so keke o ye call the demo about this sika omo dollars ni cities omo hunu ne pass nya asem ketua obi ohwe bola so sanitation minister enye na the ono finance minister de enye ekonem passes de sika ye be hunu ne dollars ni pounds kenya asem ketua krono ena omo bo Ghana ama hochre ena chese Ghana for ekom ada bode man ye ma mutimi kokuro obitimi sori ahomache 3 ekotena wia so sa ema de bobe ye 6 7 ne mfa so kura obenya kura entimi emfa ka ema ne ma fie omu atiefo a etie minim sa asma meke enya dada nokra trodo ena meka atiefo di ahwefo a etie hwa minim sa asma meke nokra trodo because MPP for no be propaganda. Omeka sense ma meke na nseme na meke na minim dia meka but omo a sebi asma meke omo feel the pinch edem say asma meke no kretro do enti ye no majority status na yanya no ade a ye de be ye adwuma ye de be hyehyemra ye de be ye nioma be hama Ghana for ahoa eden ha omo enti say MPs epo Sir President Akufo-Addo epo Sir Chief Justice po so po your majority status no we are protecting our majority status now your speaker so NDC they didn't let the guy kasa dada enunti this time of year the ekoko nyina should send them a signal the ekoko so say should send them a message it should tell them say the wind of change is blowing it should tell them say President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo no Dr. Baumia ye be pakio kura agunche His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama ena Ghana fo nyina ebetu abai amano no oba wadi kaka odi chishaya esefata ena eba I mean enye so meye president da o President Mahama ye president ama Ghana fo nyina ahunu the time as president, not Ghana for that's what ETS, no motiase. They know the difference between when John Mahama was president and when Akufo-Addo and Dr. Baumia were president, vice president, respectively. Oma huno, oma compare nsa, and oma huno de ebe boa omo. See, ye na train Ojefo no. His Excellency, former President John Dramani Mahama, ye train 24-hour economy. Ye train the Women's Bank. Ye train project ahodo o shasi aban eba ye sikadie ne mismanagement into no omonteme ento aso ye twen ama Ghana for atu abama President John Dramani Mahama ama na be reset this mess economy Akufo-Addo ne Baumia akreti amaye.
Thank you so much. Enoka Samanka said the country is totally heading towards the wrong direction. Let's vote for John and Jane to reset Ghana and build the better Ghana we want. My regards to Owen Kwame Frimpong, incoming MP for Lower West Achim constituency. Enoch Ena Ode we eba ye. Biamzi one. The speaker has done what is needful because he is not bigger than the Supreme Court, and also is a lesson to NPP MPs who don't help and are full of arrogance. Greetings to Dennis Amfusefa of Tema West and engineer Odailai of Krowo, Abele Nungwa and Odiwe Efi Ebaye. Meshak Asante, Edway from Asama. Speaker Babin has spoken and that is all. The separation of powers must be obeyed and respected by the Supreme Court. NDC MPs still continue to be the majority caucus in Parliament since Speaker's stance still remains intact. Kudos to Speaker. Greetings to Sedem Afenyo, incoming Amasaman MP. Richard Edwin Sufri Amasaman. The NPP constitution says 1. A member of the party who stands as independent candidate or joins or declares his or her support for another political party automatically forfeits his membership of the party. NPP makes history as the first political party that disowned their own constitution. God bless our Speaker of Parliament for displaying gargantuan wisdom. On December 7th, Ghanaians, it is our civic duty to vote against Dr. Bawumia and the NPP for them to account their stewardship to Ghanaians. Richard Edie Enonom. MAAME, yes, please, I urge all Ghanaians to vote for Dr. Bawumia and all NPP candidates number 1 on the ballot paper. Uncle Ebo and Odiwe Ifritema Ebaye. Mystic Wonder Avoko inside Insoma Dweji. Good afternoon to you, Mami Soja. Speaker Babin has proven beyond all reasonable doubt that he is intelligent, knowledgeable, and he has handled the issues with maturity and wisdom. It's ridiculous, preposterous, and gibberish for the NPP to be running away from their own precedent and shadow. The judiciary should not be seen as unanimous, FC, in defense of the Nanado NPP-led government. The table will surely turn come December 7, 2024. The NDC understood the 1992 constitution more than the NPP. The Supreme Court should give orders to the executive like they have been giving orders to the legislature. Tay Edwefi Usu. Mukaila Jonah said the year inside Kari. In 2013, the same Supreme Court, led by Justice Atuguba, gave a verdict that Mahama won without any malice, and at the same time, they trusted and respected the judiciary. Now that same court takes a decision that needs to be adhered to. They rather sought to undermine the integrity of the courts. But they should note that whether majority or minority, the bottom line is that Ghanaians are retiring their 4-year term Mahama because instead of them to go and campaign for their seats, they are in parliament fighting over majority slot. Will that put food on their table or make Mahama win? These group of people are really, really jokers. The Supreme Court, what is the NDC man saying? What the NDC man saying is not a fact. The Constitution is the master of all, and it is the bottom of the Supreme Court. The Constitution is the power and is headed by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has the power to explain the Constitution. The constitutional power is being given to the Supreme Court. You people can't use your small power to undermine the Supreme Court. Fabna Addison and Odiwe Abai. Why do you allow the NDC in Kontompo man to continue deceiving the public, Madam Host? Our way of doing politics can be so discouraging as well as having no future for the generations to come. Why do MPs suddenly switch to independent when they lose their respective party primaries? That tells you they are in for their personal interest, selfish interest. Doing that alone is an indication that they are in parliament for their own selfish interest, not the interest of our country. Those particular MPs are indeed a disgrace to democracy. Osai Kwaku all the way from UK and all Dubai. Eric Kwaku bore deep patriotic voice, Bechem, regards to Honorable Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe Napo. Congratulations to the Supreme Court for putting the law in order. If Ghanaians want the best for this country, then they should give the needed support to Dr. Bawumia and Dr. Napo. The NPP government is the only party that thinks about the future and welfare of every Ghanaian. Greetings to Honorable Dr. Sechere Yeboah Benjamin. Noah the Ark Builder. And also, someone should help tell the self-acclaimed number 3 Babin and his NDC to stop attaching emotions to national issues. It's possible with number 1. The last one that I'm putting across. Good afternoon, maybe please ask the NDC guy in your studio to give us only one tax that Bawumia brought to Ghanaians in his first 4 years before COVID. It has not happened before. Please force him to tell us. Frank Nero, Abuso Kai Enodifri. Frank Nero sent me Misa say before COVID, no tax ben and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as vice president were introduced. Ali.
What's it saying?
Before COVID. Obekaya my tax back up a tour back one. Dr. Baumia as vice president, where you introduce you?
Yeah, na MPP for omota disruptive conversation like
yeah, me a question.
Yeah, na me na taxes Dr. Mahmoud Baumia any president Akufo-Addo dia ba ye because me gogo kura kenkan
before COVID.
A whole lot of taxes are
mention one.
In the course of a conversation, I'll give a lot. I'll give more than 20 before I leave the studio.
Hey,
I'm assuring him on that. I'll give more than 20 a lot.
I'll hold you to your word.
Yes, I'll give more than 20 before I leave the studio. So I mean,
okay.
Yes,
Mate now, say speaker a suspended sitting. What next?
Say yeah, so I say indefinitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, say at the end of the day, no. Say what next is that government business is going to suffer. There were a lot of loans. Buying the bar was a transferable ejitum. Because some of the money loans, a lot of loans are on more year was a transferable approval in a best of within these 2 months. Okay. Government businesses, best of far. And see, what I think should be done is there was a President Akufo-Addo a calling meeting. I was what to me the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. No was signed so the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Barbin. No, motimi eden, omomi ensatimi etnase because Kamia ko said the no a constitutional crisis. Because the Alban Barbin penny say onu tumi a constitution e di amano no another arm of government say or undermine ni tumi and power na constitution di amano e no one pay. And say no he will never listen to the Supreme Court. That one is a fact. Because clearly constitution no define obia powers are and what's what to me then this war. And to want to me and travel the and detect it to another person. We admit that yes, you have the power to interpret the constitution, but you don't have any power to direct or stay, ruling of exposed speaker. And not possible. There's no constitutional, nothing like that is in the constitution. And what a problem no one know. And so I think the first gentleman of the land, which is President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was what me from na okase chale. Chief Justice with the me and me to me now, but say the nyoma ko one yard and no kwasenka utimi that order enye on kind of crunch on facing in the name no kind of crana wo we asum nyina nche no no pa speaker gbab na chow in the meeting e be solve problem nyina na fe members of parliament no ye ma mo nyina emra na speaker enrin 20 say the ruling now ma earlier no by reference to article 97 no it still stand. I mean na yema enyoma ye de enkoso ye beboa no at least a lot of nyoma o ma chiachia na nyina with a majority na behwe na yatimia correct na nyina ma chese amamwe chese akoye kama kakra because said the nyoma say according the chale ye ka say di achira wan hwe ye obia be vacate this country. Yes, Yankopon atimia ma yesa majority status no ye be correct all the wrongs. Amobia ho atono krom hama nyoma aye kama mobia
meda sipi ana kwaba
yena
bia bokode
boko nso enye betesa mo fanchem say my late
no problem
say nintina wa sheda say wonhwe manim
no problem at all
matiase we say wani aginam me ereko busumi ni mihu ye ntimi nso mani aginam
what was that Friday no
yo
me be fa we rem ho
Wadoso.
You. Friday and Sunday.
Oh, okay. And I went to me and Miss Amasi.
Unfortunately, now a phone and a kiss now a number in so.
Oh, okay.
Come a frail.
Oh, friend, I'm coming my brother Kakra. Next time, which your mouth.
And Yammy, last time I say, if you go for the answer correct.
Oh, okay.
And to make a tremor.
And into of you on air, your pon.
Oh, and then there's some papa criminal.
You,
they say, when I miss many actually.
You. Ugo diade wo ha.
Oh, me go diade wo, but you baby ako baby.
Matiase.
But
next time mo kwaya for mango ase. Na fa ko rura we ekurakan na wura suhu na hwe se ne ete
my kwan
o se me pese wo fa ho na wo hwe
maybe am ka akose
o da bi me pese wo fa ho bi
kwan na fine na
o e da so first class road esin N1 ni kura
Nana wo ya jeje me ba ko to so
oh me van to so
Nana kwa baby
oh yeah na
yes say speaker wa agenda sitting indefinitely your take on it
yo mama na wase na atiefo mfa nche me se ne my late kakra adwuma yi hu mra na na eguso no na me call market kakra na me ko hwe se niam bo se ne tia na eguso tia na asa aba form na asa akosoro na me je me di se mrepamu no ye de beba betuga because na me na Madina market na me hwe ne na eko na mami nchia na me nchia me nua Ali ne ntikura so na me di mirika mbese mbedu ha ne se na me nim se na me nua dade mebe na nkote ha de bia o bompa ese me mama mma nanka onya the field day nti na me nso menya ni nyina nti so baby o tim bia me nua dade mi chia o na mbom o de nananom ka nti siesie ohu obeje wo gwan baako mami ye fi hini abedu ha yi me pache wo mami biama ene Ghana fu nyina ye mbise ye hu si anye bia nia ekonam so a enu nti abepue Supreme Court Parliament in asenia Parliament House no ye rekọ war bi wo ho a ye hu senia security abi fa ene nasifu nyina nipa nan penti nipa hin anan sa nan ye fo anambwa na ye mbise ye hu si evidence anso enye no kware sei saa nipa nan no won a decide say either say obeko independent and say obeko join a political party. The answer is true. Yense mbi say hu say per the standing orders in parliament say who decide say who rejoin another political party and say you want to go as an independent. What is the standing orders in parliament? The standing orders in parliament and they say you forfeit your seat. Anayasa. Inti, what is wrong with what Honorable Right Speaker Aban Bagbin did? What wrong did he do? You see, sometimes, some people interpret the law and I say, susu asem ho mani luku asif say, sabi, yanga kenyina wo memu hanu, nyansa bi ani yentim. Inti wonkwa na nyansa ni nyina wo wontim. Inti no, se wonde no woka, na se yense enya. Bebi aseso ogina bi okase ye no kware no, obefa so. Once we waste your time, waste the taxpayers' money, waste resources, and at the end of the day, no, be papa be a few mama. How many days more to elections? And baby, no dano, people will not allow you to put the truth where the truth ought to be. Until the moment you decided to speak the truth, then you are left alone standing. In the name of democracy, near Bomanica, just left, right, center, just like that. We have voted for you to go to parliament. Out of greediness, selfishness, and media, and yobia, inti Parliament House, that's the question I want to ask. And I said there are some individuals in this country, if they don't enter into parliament, and I say, well, if parliament, it means that automatically they will die. And I want to run and say, what's in a parliament forever? Sometimes I don't get it. Nipa nwa juma na we. Nipa nso uhufunu nipa where you uma. And untina even ordinary water udigu bottle mu nesi wa na cha. Ebon anambwa. Nipa otina baby a na ocha ohu ye hi. Iti so what me go 2 times. Na wo manfu say one power. Why are you forcing yourself to go independent? Independent na okwa wo beto ama ana. And I say independent ukwa kofa sabe what can they in some manfubi and in crofubia fi baby no aba beto abana mawana. Nipa na was one pel no one are the same people who are going to vote. So why do you decide to go independent? If it is not greediness, you have somebody contesting in a constituency, and then out of greediness, whatever constituency was say, I am going somewhere. That one, the law is still silent on it. And I am trying to understand the rationale behind some of all these things. And the house needs cleaning. We need to clean the house. We need to clean the Parliament House because it is full of filth. Sabi Wonga, who don't deserve to be called honorable, are even in the house. And they are misbehaving, messing up, and hiding behind the name democracy and misbehaving. Let's take example of Amefi Central MP. In 2004, when he saw contested on the ticket of MPP.
Hey.
Yes. And let me tell you a history. In 2004, he contested on the ticket of MPP. He lost. In 2008, he went as independent. Then when the NDC came...
He didn't lose again?
He lost. And he went as an independent. Lose. Because that seat was an NDC seat. In 2009, when NDC took over, they made him MCE. So he was an MCE till 2016, he went into Parliament.
Yeah, on the ticket of NDC.
On the ticket of NDC.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
What testy had.
And then in 2020, you are still in Parliament. This time around, the people said no. They want somebody else to contest. And if it is not greediness, 2009, you are an MCE. 2016, what about your MP? 2020, you are still MP. In 2024, you still want to become an MP. What's one opinion? Then you go independence. And then you want Ghanaians to have mercy on such a greedy person? No. We can't have mercy on such a greedy person. You understand? It's in Parliament House. In the case of Cynthia Morrison, walk or twice. Your people said, oh, ya bro. Inti pebebi jina no bimra. Who said there be that mempene inti meko independent. Is it not greedy?
That send a signal to the public, say they are actually there not because of the country, not because of
they are not there
but because of their own personal.
It's because of their personal selfish interest. A typical example is my own constituency. We have voted for an MP who is missing in action, and out of greediness, he has moved from that constituency to a different constituency, and he's parading herself to say he's new or a virgin in that constituency. So people should go ahead and vote for the person. Such character. Then we have in Parliament, and then when we talk about it, people will say, "Oh, you are trying to insult the honorable members of Parliament." But somebody who is an honorable, you should be honest to yourself. They are not honest to Ghanaians. It is their own selfish gains, their own selfish interest. If it is not my political party, forget it. Even though political party in the mouth ticket now they call, but the moment you are there for Ghanaians. When you make the law, you don't make the law for your political party. You make the law for Ghanaians. But hey, and you're nunti yampini, and then look at the confusion. Who say we call independent? When you say independent, who call no to Obama? Why then do you decide say I am now coming to join the political party again? But sometimes you see that is how I say some people will need shame. They don't have shame. Sometimes they don't have the integrity because they are not honest to they themselves. And in Mribiano, so why are there when you say, oh, I do where me say a new background and family. Then in Beguasi cry and fan. Nakama me biama. Men are made me home. And I miss say they me will GD say. Esan say my contest as an independent candidate. Wonga to Obama, me some baby or betu mami. Why do I have to run back to a political party who denied me? And you know, say it is because of that man. And we are where we are again. Because in 2020, or decided is all independent, on one party, it is owning. But this time around, when the speaker is disowning other political parties, they say that law was vague. Until this time around, you see the double standards of our politicians. You see the greediness of the people who are supposed to be called leaders. You see the selfishness, stomach direction people of the people who are supposed to be managing the affairs of our country. And you call them honorable. You call them honorable. If we decide to lead a crusade, say all the 275 parliamentarians in everybody should lose their seat. If we decide on that tangent to say all the members currently, because they have been dishonorable to all Ghanaians, you can't sacrifice 3 people to save 30.8 million. You can't sacrifice 1 person to save 30.8 million. It means to say you don't think about us. And in parliament, that is how come most of the parliamentarians, when you back out first 4 years, so or drive better car. After the 4th year, now I started drive rickety car. Now if you were starting, Mami Biama, Mami Mra Usho no so, Namisanya popular. Can you imagine? Meanwhile, he decided not to even pick your call. As if we say he will not come back to the normal position. Oye ni party say wa. Mumaye maye ni na Ganafo. Emra so say samri we emra. Me bay obia lodu omo ne car. But a back away what can I pick up a cheek or the coach check. After election, sa omo no hu biem. After election, sa omo no hu biem. Obeba mu film, mu fidium wodi omo say 1 kilo crown wodi chiche. Wo mumunti wodi 1 kilo no wodi sardine ba kwa kan no wodi nkosua makomako 4 no wodi 50 cedis aka ho na eno ebeya oden choose who have the nation at heart. Choose people who are not so much into partisanship. If we go on this tangent, Chrono ebekosoro. Say you tenase ni adwene ni ebise hu say anso denti na de bia no ekoba ne say de bia ye bribia na kodam bribi say it is because of the mentality. It is because of our mindset. Yanga ye na ye NDC MPP say inti say obi fufuru bi mporeba. We don't want to give the person the opportunity simply because ye the NDC ni MPP na amre. And the bad system will always follow us. Because sisi ame no ti he mame biama me ena nansa me sorry asema me ka kire me hu si hey sisi o mamu ha se obi ye obiribi na ni awugedi no fa samra nipa no ehun hia se obe ha ho afro afiri akosin sankrata bia se ukwakoye biribi se uje nananum dia janum nananum se uje akonfu dia janum akonfu se uje osofu dia janum osofu. Because you waste your time, and then at the end of the day, you are thinking, say, on omnipotence or my judgment, my ukumato yemuno, or my judgment in baby, unipano crana, unyanka, will be transikan. And so maybe an anonymous in what the assembly. What the assembly we are what to me kumakuko, now after any yanka once a boom didi. Then as I said, what the assembly we know only penny who knew, or say, way, baby, I'll be Fabiano, may you what it. Aden. Simply because no kwari ni niwa no kwari nasa na nka mede nka me hu inu asema ebia sida enu no wogina so de yemfato anamboa inti se asema esi na ora aban bagbin ogina ho de yemfato ho why mistake mami why mistake na enu nti krono fiti fida ibesi enna awie ya me no kasei tension bia be to krom hatene a Ghana ba be boani me wa no so asam ne yasem bia na enye emre weisu anasa aban weisu a nka minnim se ubetumi di asam akọ Supreme Court na anopa won assembly ajasifo enum na won atena asam no so na awia ansa na ebebo 4 o'clock a aban adwumayefo bepon no the judgment about that public domain. In the history of this nation, I stand to be corrected. Even in media yetwama we say eye krakra bampo ye hu sa de ni bi. Na obi a wabetina so ojetumu say oye lawyer, human rights lawyer. Na ne mre so niam bi say kwa. Then we begin to ask questions. Say how do people read the law? How come do somebody become a lawyer? What is the benefit of becoming a lawyer? If you are a lawyer, what are you? What do you stand for? Does it mean say if you are a lawyer and the case come, this is how it has supposed to be handled? And now say, is it because you are a friend to a person who appointed you? You always have to do the person's bidding. Sometimes a lot of question keeps bombarding our heads when we hear some of these statements, and it is bad, and it is killing our nation. because say yan sim sa nneɛma we hu nyinaa kwan a ebedu mmiri bi no kware yɛ de no kware no wo ka kyerɛ obi kura obɛhwɛ w'anim because say me BIAMAH adi bi ani wa politician o tia wa ba mu sisi abɛka kyerɛ Major di because nneɛma bebree na wo ayɛ a mahu sɛ watwa to
wa politicians in general
I mean say politicians here wo ba mu sisi asɛm bi ani wa ɔbɛka Major di nipa ba ko pɛ na bi obetumi aka asɛm Major di ɛno kura mɛhwɛ n'anim abien esan sɛ what kese me nhwɛ soro ɛsɛ me hwɛ fam because nneɛma a wɔn akeka nka by this time nka Ghana abetumi aka sɛ nka ne wei what can they UK epe anaka ne America cry epe hey BIAMAH what to me catch and say every constituency will be $1 million Allah $1 million BIAMAH nka by this time constituency $8 million do you know what that can do nka enya hwe kura nka Lata Junction and let me say nka Lata Junction to Ekropon ra ho no nka betumi aye no what can they betumi aye Tarazo Road ke betumi aye Tarazo anka owura ho a won ha ho enso kɔhwɛ kwan no ansa na obedu assembly no eso tutu insu to aneta ho with all the machines a won akɔsesa wa bɛsɛ what the drip any nasefo oman we impanyifo ate so katere say every constituency we are going to have a factory, one district one factory, one constituency $1 million, one village one dam nka mango as villages a wo nyina nka ibenya dams nka ya how ya ho nka lori kwan a ye be ye nyina nka ye ni problem but ni nyina ye talk na nansa mitwam wo pokuase meru ho yi onim say train da de kwan na ifi amasama ebasiam bi won atutu da de kwan won atutu enyi so nkrofo sa ban na no atutu o so obaye no foforo ma nti all in the name of ye be foforo won atutu aton scraps nti train no enya mabiem enso 8 years ni ye wo railway minister ye wo asoya one day ni say wo ye railway ba ku ye what in gabium ye hu de deni wodi trains de bo wodi bo ba ku pe na bai enu kru so bedu yi no na che say ekonya accident we say the cost of repairs no de tofoforo kra ho wonfa so I mean how into your money think of having insurance to be able to do cover of hey mami nsem no doso but senia niema kofa ede just ye nyina de ye hu itonwram na yako educated Ghanaians and tell them where to vote to because senia niema ko ede esa ban yo si form
beda sepe nana medase I was here for 100.9 and I was so egua otieno now yen shifting yen focus from parliament nana yemra the fight against galamsey and I'm saying it is some journalists be from the multimedia my name say what they are almost mining sites be visits and ade and ya chi womo abu. Have we lost that fight in any way? And some traffic I was see ye di achi na ye kohwe ye ba beka ye hunu anamo ahodo aban etu mpempen so oduni ade no ene ye buru yen edi who go and report and bring the facts from site. Are we losing it?
Yeah, we have lost it, not losing it. For the fight of Galamsey, we have lost it, and the echo na nyachum keke. I mean, President new strategy what develops so fighting ne the kika ho nyina no enkosi aga because with this yema government I mean since 2016 and abaye and adwin say obetim obebo ne ho body na watu Galamsey ase. I mean what have you seen? Ye hunu bibi antinya 2 months in ye de be hunu bibi. And so meti asem no in fact Erastus wa bon ho modern papa I was enka ban krampo ebo na abaso body a enya asem ketua was enka ban etimi epeja no emano. I mean, rewarded for the efforts what put in the life in the fight against this Galamsey. But what is AKWAFO about AKWAFO recognizing one way or the other. And so, Rahosem say, you drew stages it's a for was say, omo na omo kɔ ensuo no na omo report so ma yehunu de ekɔ se de ensuo ese esaifa na this time around omo na omo attack omo de dey say ehu na de beto journalist for wo Ghana nyina eso enti metie no mane anye kra na metie a kire say enipa miensa omo kɔ di san to trust them no ya chi omo. I mean me I'll just pray that omo ya chi omo no omo nkrofo a sebi omo ye related to some ministers of state and I say omo nkrofo bi o Jubilee House ha ebema asem no aye foolish case because the nyina yinim ne say ohwe omo a boys ye won so ye se omo say no kalamse omo tuo ni ehon kro ne ba nyina no omo ya somafo keke omo mpanimfo a akuku dama edi omachi a emo omo sa ahoden no ede ye de omo yen ti ye betia ne se miense ya chi omo order from above ye court ba ko mienu miensa ne ya ja omo so the fight against galamsey die enye President Akufo-Addo aban yi ena betimi atimi atu galamsey ase bi de bia me kase Akufo-Addo waye bia wo de ye de be ma beye ena waye no sesia no de obeye we say waye ni nyina wa kire say ampa wa put presidency on the line wa kire say wo una ye president a obetimi atu galamsey ya bo abaso waye ade de be ma beye na waye wo de jai bibia na ye twen President John Dramani Mahama no nso be de embeto aso because wo no enya ade a obetimi atu ase ye nyina ye nim krom ha o minister dodo na na eye galamsey chairman wontimi de bia meka boko asante mema ho na enim say chairman wontimi ntu galamsey oyo concession I mean ya register our yes small scale mining but galamsey age more than 70% of a juma oye ohia boys a wa recruit omo asante memo odi omo ye galamsey party boys
we say galamsey because galamsey no ye proper mining this the company na ye registered company there then it's supposed to be doing a real mining
so omo de registered company na kata nyoma so and wo fa actually na say Martin Pebu a report no ma criminal investigation department CID omo friend no question no so ho say otu galamsey I mean, Erasto da sorry, don't investigative journalist ya na ebdeba bontin say chema won to me tanu in rainforest say he o so say I was say ho jasem kitwa onwa na di ebeto abontin ebo chema won to me edin e ma CID for efa asem yi because Martin Kwebu ni two other people di eche say o mehwe ama chema won to me ya prosecute no CID for to ne emonsa efre no say ya che no omotu na no ba ko mienu miensa na omogya no okọ kumase bepemene I mean ogusu esensuo e wasante ne mamu a obia entimi enka ho asem and so the man Akufo-Addo de ono no ontimi nya ejuma no che se enya de obetimi aye because se galamsey na emaniska ohwe chema huntumi a aboa Akufo-Addo campaign papa te onfa den si form 2016 campaign seka chema huntumi pompe ma Akufo-Addo in this campaign na nya asem kitwa 2020 na some na chema huntumi na aka also obia ntimi challenge in this NPP party because onu watimi aboa party de papa aboa na do in his campaign na ba bisa won se sika no nya free himfa ejuma ben wo ya obetimi atimi apompi sika aye na dwen so oboa Akufo-Addo with his campaign tira nansi Akufo-Addo ba bonte be ka so I mean chema wuntumi de nya de a wo ya galamsey wa hwe ye ni investigation commission bi abe investigation approving the wrong ka ye accuse ni na nka bo ma ya che no na wo ma na ye de na tum wa remand wa ba I mean na ebe man crofo bi kro mo ye galamsey kra bebre na ye de abohu se na chema krampo na ya tinye ache no ya wa remand abe eni wo se mitimi hwe yo eni wo se mija yo na wo de wa chema wuntumi a wa matutu na no just some few minutes na majano then you are emboldened others to also go to the same target And so far as Akufo-Addo, president of the Republic of Ghana, the journalist said, "Yeah, Omaya Majin say, Omebua Maya to Galamsey, the who ena Omode Ebesho Momo, Omekoswa Bromwa na the Emi Yakwana say, about Brom Krampona Assembly Enkosiaga, a bare foolish case. Because the campaigns are say assembly omedi achirama yede the Pepe Yabama omodi stand to trust assembly ye betwe omaso no bosses are Jubilee House are omebo mo ban. And so it is unfortunate. Yeah, per se you galam say dia and ye former President John Dramani Mahama kan over 2024 manifesto ya ye de nhyehyɛ emu edru na ebegu akwan mu a yebetimi ayeden ahwe atu ase galamsey de nya de a yebetimi atu ase kura ye akase ye be man krofo aye galamsey no se de omo nada no so ho ye ma ministers mom emfa machines enko tu nsuo so emfa enko bubu ye kokko ngu ye be ye no responsibly ye be kire kwan papa no ma mebunu na Akufo-Addo ntimi mmomojuma no ya kire mo kwan aye sefata a ombe ye galamsa ense ye nsuo. So yadikaka na President Mahama so ayeden eka ti ohwe kwakuba hentape ya eko ni ade ya ese kwakuba he campaign say ye ba ye be magalamse akoso enya de no kre oso
ye fa no kre
no tio me say oso ba ode hyehyea
nana brema
na kokuba ya semba ya na wakati ni I was on set with him. I was on set with him. Eno Kesi.
Yes, we were on set with him.
Eno Kesi. Amanfo kasa na asema na opeso o kire ni say.
Na say meba na say ma me damage control bia. I didn't he has said it. He walk Galamsey site on. Were you there? Why it was a wrong tape. When he went to when he visited the Galamsey when he visited the Galamsey side, were you there with him? But go ahead and say what you are. Don't come and defend it because he said it. It is true. It's a fact. And on the same set, no, maybe on the same set, no. Now we can say when he said and now you were there, no. He repeated the same thing. Say Obesanya Kobio. Bacho, go ahead and talk about the topic. Don't talk about it.
Nipa kasema.
He did not say it and
Nipa kasema. Aya mama fana nunsi. Oh, itu mama nunsi.
He said it.
Debio, nti mi ameti he. Mi ameti he. Ma din ambasa amechire ni se. Se mi nua kwakubu ahin. Etumi akase. Omiti siasema amekato.
Can't you make a point?
Masema ameso mpese ameka ne se. Wonga wo po no mu na wo tu Galamsey no. Wo ye Ghana fo te se ye no. Si ye kone no won kasa. Ni ye tu won brefie.
Journalists visited some Galamsey site in the Ashanti region and they've been beaten. That is what we are talking about.
That is the question you need to ask yourself. Because journalists ni bi wo ha, monkrofo ni bi wo ha. Wakoye information wo de ababeje din a sebe. Obi abekesi wakoye adwuma abroso. But we a journalist na wo rura ba bia. You have your tag. Ashanso dia echese we a journalist na wahi. Yenim journalist bia otumi kotita okona bi na de ne camera ashutu obi ni obi ade bi a woye. Na wasande ababeto se wentu abribi se a meliki wo sa information. Once we a journalist.
Yeah.
It is a we a journalist now walk baby identify yourself because I don't think say anybody in his right senses will just bounce on anybody like that and be the person. Say meti hey na ma sorry say me ko ponimu. Na emrantini hu mi ape no nga chassis wo ba be bro me. No way. It doesn't happen like that. Anya two or three people who approach me. Hey papa open den wa ha. Oh me be hwe adwuma amoye no. Na se etwa fata se mo ye ne se a yetumi ni mo adi nkomo se mo ye ne se na emua yen a ene yemfa kwan fofuru bi so ne yemfa nkoye eye kasa hwe asem bi ani wiase mu ha sebe what is sekan na eka eya no an what ka asem enu nti na asem bi ba afanu abienu ye ntwitwa ye ho ya no an ye de be kasa nti galamsey nsem a ekosu ya no ne ye de be ka wo say aban why 419 why labor union 419 labor union fu sorry gigi aban one first state of emergency anto so a ye be ko strike odada won e be ko akoje brown envelope koje ewi achi no den akosi efe won asan twa U10 ebrimu se wo be ko ebrimu se wonko ojama yutak funko a okono enye yutak funko okono eyeye nyina ayeko maame biama mu amuti hei wo hei mu nyina mu ka labor unions no bi se nne mu kese nne radio ye nya adwuma o man na shut it down and when that thing happens president bi otisu bia no he will wake up o say o de asrafo akọ asrafo aye de ko yi ye mfa bi nkoda maame ye mfa bi nkoda ye de river guards akoda ye de Delta Force 1 Delta Force 2 Delta Force 3 make asa oti ase ni nyina no ankosiaga ma obi kura papa ni obi kunu fa mu wi just like that ewie we say hey afedi galamsey no nti utumu keka na ye den Ghana happy na me hu say etumi to epumu but galamsey de yentumi ntumi say ma atumu for 2 months nti memo bi anye galamsey ana memo bi anye mining but mpatana ya wina yenya hoodin fi mu ne de about to me kase from this month to this month ma tupunum and one have a special key okojina ponano na way fisheries minister or kitaki ni say o say ma lock pono what a concept but the thing now ebe kum yane de we can't lock it. Sometimes when you think of some of these things and then you ask yourself say what kind of managers are we having in this country? How mami biama baby a yebenya mpatana yebenya we work on den vitamins any adeni enyin iye ni mo no wo se no wotumi tumo na to baby a esen insu
say asase
say kwai no
say koko
wo se no di mintumi ntum esan say politics edamanim election damanim na wasa ka kire say house no e babaka sa law na mo pass say amanfo mbonru akwai mu no mo be kwa kwatwa san won say no wodi ato ato baby won say no ato the minority that is more important to them than the lives of the ordinary people, than the lives of the citizens. That is how I keep saying say the politician thinks about himself. He doesn't think about you and I. And so we need to reason up. We need to think beyond that partisan issues are among fushishe t-shirt no boho. After 3 months only will be you are on your own. Inti yama yenina ho. We should be able to bring people who first na me first kan kokra de yede mo one this kan ye bibia but won't disappoint me. Won't disappoint me big time. And when the people who have the nation at heart and they want to work, you know, they will deny them. They will deny them. Galamsey asemi yakase the simplest and easiest way to do it and he said odi credo ana ki be to forest any galamsey site ni mutisani awutumi to epunum onu so onye esan say ohoni sika no emu yeduru eba no ho a otumi show off say eni na me de makase insane ekura galamsey mu o mamu ha no insane mu yeduru ye na sansa no nipa 30.8 million kura yentumi left sansa no eni na still a galamsey ntamsemo inti ansa na president di ni embassy form no because me I president Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa, the president of the Republic of Ghana, I have declared that henceforth we have declared state of emergency on all the forest and galamsey side. And none obetumi aka me who say yes menena kasa menena ye bema menena san wo vim. Now until then mami ye di agoribi until then ye ni mre say eko because there's nothing to prove say they are ready to fight it. And the only best way if he is not declaring is to sack the party off and get them back to the forest. No one na no who say the galamsey nsu no ma etefa.
But that's oh yeah Ali wrap up.
All right, the American the American and say say asem no menua aka ne nyina. I mean
under 1 minute too.
Yeah, say the American and say President Akufo-Addo de Badika kasenya de obetimi aye adwuma no. Ghana for mo hwe na mo sama the President Mahama Emra. Is your opinion polls nyina say ye checking na dana the pefe say President Mahama more votes. I mean, there's no single opinion poll, and as a poll that I put to Baumia ahead of Mahama. When you actually say, and President Mahama bet me akoda, you bet me akoda without communicating. During the election day, no, sorry, I celebrated, but the impediment, I say, gap no, very wide. So the you best send a signal to Akufo-Addo, the Dr. Baumia say, Omontimi MAAME. This I created this mess and sign expect say be immediate to me either. I'm more ye cause so great embarrassment.
Thank you so much.
Na monto maye.
Medas nana.
Mina na meka ni say Ghana fo obia ni tuase ne oman ekofa. Say ye pese young systems no, young institutions, young schools, any young bribia ejina yedia na on the 7th December no ushe wasitinemu ushe ukutukum ushe udanga utim ushe light bill utia ushe water bill utia ushe unsu a onnom na fe ushe wafiri a ofuru ko ukrom sene na emiribi utumu ko ukrom ba na sese ubeko ukrom kra na bia bosuma nan bosuma num asa watumi akofie no ento abapa sene be ya ahohiehia ane ahokyira abeto yenso emiritia mu ebetumi eyefio
meda sepi Area Busian for Honey and discussions no Ebesia Sadaka Senkoma Ibrahim Ali of the NDC Nana into a Merichi political analyst one and a beboyema discussion no yede ebremo yebie mo phone lines na atomo amamo 0302243540. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes.
Collins
Yo, Collins, Bibi Aboko.
Yakupardom.
Okay.
It's you. Where you to Mamichia incoming member of Parliament to Obo constituency, Dr. Ham, on the number 4 on the ballot. Miliaba, and the see of Parliament, you know. They did a yami yakakra. The dear yami yami di bagbe who yawni, no mana no cafe, and now I say Comunia one, and I'm saying who's here. But anyway, on the name, the NC of Casa. Near auto and in your be free, new reality say, take time to me and told you. MPP for me Kanama Casisha, and was some bad point, and I'm Pagana for say, ya phone is some of your kind on your bini. Now, we say, Yaku do, I saw my Ghana, young people, dear, or my Ghana.
Let us say, good afternoon. Good afternoon. If I didn't be afraid, Boros. Oh, yeah, me have your oko.
I always say, I can't pity for me. I can't. Well, oh, what before to say a coalition? No more Jessica, my delegate near to Obama. Ya to Obama will be on some party, my party. So, no more, head over the arm, I say, head over the island. I go to Jessica. I'm a delegate at Tokas. I'm on the man and the idea to oil campaign. Now, about me, I'm not to you. I was say, I'm more beaten like I want to let them. Yeah,
Medase, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Nyame adom Kwame ni.
I'm MPP ni make a free tishi.
Yanko.
But you are ko boy ya kwa papa no.
Yanko.
About 2 unju so no. But share akwa papa we tishi ya. You are ko boy nyamishrawo. Na do so nyamishrawo. Na si se bi you are mama Daniel temdidie o. Baby obeko bia agese okoje ni dim. Si se wa se nkranfo do mu hia ne dokono ne kakoshito. Omu do mu hia degeta. Hey, no way the pani, Tossum da pani. Ghana for Mamma, you mistake you. Say you were mamma. The Okika will say, Nanny Papa, or that's yes, I'm to Abamana because I be Pia Chiramo, Papa, no, Nim the Ignasa. When me Pia or Kosora, no Aquabaha, no Aquay say, no Aquay say, not we are about me, I say, oh, by your secondary school. Onye mbosi ya ko university wie ade na je we wonu so akwa ya fake ata ho sai me ya na yi o ai first year free na kire de akwa je bosi an you wura mama na dia pa na wo dia wo ba ya what in this class 27 bad years o matumi dia bo Ghana sa Ghana
Medase. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. Bacho, didn't baby Afrifi.
I'm Bacho phone and Mikasa.
You for Yanko.
Mamma Soja, I know about who was TV so far. My you, Mamma Soja, only a fear for power.
Medase.
Mamma Samuel Kuni, information minister. Mamma Soja, if I show Papa no, who friend Nana no, and adultery.
Yeah.
If I show me this, I will say, oh, yeah, Nana Katanani Dini Edita. Because when is also honor me, I've also honor me na oba o kasa when who say there so everything will be any so everything catch me say me FOC on me ni afi afi nkadu mu if he adosu kuro mu kon kadu mu e kwan no hwe se be ya ne hia no guy oba propaganda no office na no ye onye na me FO if you take my catch you
Medase. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes. Oh, about the then. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Manabum today.
Nyamiadum.
Mama, who is this Madina?
Be uncle.
Mama, they didn't watch them. I'm a good drink and what I'm saying. Woody and Kanakunuku. They didn't want Mama, what is that way?
Minty.
Aha, it's a common people that no can or set to put what is a young girl original. Mr. Ochuko Cowboy, Mr. Who food, or don't so much of the King Canoche. Mr. Common people, Mr. Cowboy, Bull food, and this is the NDC, the NDC Lord says, or the catcher. Son of President, many John, or your president. What is the one to president will come up and another the first friend? But then now, Ufreno, Lanado, Efano, Ekufado, and you're fine, or your president of Ghana, or Casa Gende, or better. This is the Palicho, or better,
Medase. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, BIAMAH. No apom to say.
Boko, Yanko.
I say that. Maybe I can I'm a culture Ghana for. The BIAMAH sama mekano. Maybe I mean, punta so into for mom family teacher mampa. Osha MPP ni NDC. 32 solid good years in a giant share papa and Omodiama Ghana and Punto ni Ghana and Kanko. And on a mestre Ghana for. Say you a political party, you a movement here, or better both MPP and this Aboma. Now your alliance for change. Chief Alan Kojocha maintain the butterfly movement. Yeah, that's your. Nano walk crowd more young wonima, a pro ebem, na batuomu, na yakodu one ma, ye trinity to a go be my divi, a bit me a tambalo boss, you are the Ganinia Bonitonia Bruno, into Sanyama ring now to the cha. Jean Chief Alan Kojocha maintain, Numbra Nefa MPP and this is why. Omuwagen Papa wants to say, Papa, what Emma or mine Dana, no Mumra ya papa na Ghana mfa ne ntoma pentra na ti tu abama MPP na ndisa de bia ntokwa mentime ho ase enyama boni nyama bua ye $1 rate ane bua akosoro no chief alan kojo chamati baba abaye ama you
area busiafo ha na de dwumade nyina ye demo esie Asidankoma production crew Asidankoma Kunu Ghana Limited for Madam Moboy Chidom de dwumade bremo Medin edema me BIAMAH AKWAFO betimi afrem BIAMZI 1 Ina mdi dwumade ho chiame me sorry ola Michael na pamfo eba beje adwa Aje tata ko fie se no sia bebo ne no sia kase ebo no abesom Madam nyina se